Shana Tova, everyone.
Shana Tova.
It is so wonderful to be here. My name is Ari Warmflash, and I'm incredibly excited to be here to introduce the Rosh Hashannah Storahtelling. And this is particularly exciting because not only is this year a collaboration between Lab Shul and the Inheritance Project, but I am one of the co-founding artists of the Inheritance Project and an artist and educator with the Lab Shul Raising the Bar program. So it's all in the family today. So let's start at the beginning. What is storytelling? Well, about 2,500 years ago, when people started reading the Torah out loud in the Hebrew in Jerusalem, it was accompanied by live translation into the language of the day so that people could know what was going on. This original interpretation was done by somebody known as a maven, or the storyteller. Now, that tradition sort of disappeared about 1,000 years ago, but Lab Shul has reinvigorated it and invited us today to be a part of the tradition of mavens. So our mavens today are founding storytelling member John Adam Ross as Isaac and Darian Deshawn as Ishmael. We also have another maven who's meant to be with us, but we can't quite get a hold of them. So bear with us, we'll make it work. So then the only thing left to tell you is, what is the Inheritance Project? Well, we are a national arts organization that travels across the country to create theater with communities. Now, our process is open, expansive. It allows for dialogue and questioning from our first rehearsal till our final performance. So, as we do in every community, we invited members of both the Lab Shul and the St. James Presbyterian community to be a part of our creative process. We started conversations in the summer to talk about this Rosh Hashanah Torah portion and what it means to us and what resonance it has in our lives today. And it was from those conversations and the stories, ideas, and themes that came from those participants that inspired the piece that you're going to see today. So I am incredibly excited to introduce this year's Rosh Hashanah Maven, Look Around.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for coming to my birthday party! Woo! Yeah! Thank you. I'm amazed at how many of you were able to be here in person, and to all of my family and friends who are at home watching on your computers or your phones. I feel your presence. This is so much better than last year's birthday. I was obviously home alone eating cake by myself, but now I'm here with all of you and with all of you, and it's going to be a better birthday. Not that last year's birthday was my worst birthday. We all know about that one, the one that comes up in therapy for me every year around this time, because Jews all over the world like to take out the Torah and read and reopen the wound of my worst birthday ever. But this year, I am reclaiming my birthday as a milestone to celebrate. This year, I am saying goodbye to that trauma, and I am turning over a new page. However, we still have to hear the story. That's the tradition. So I would like to rip off the Band-Aid, go ahead and take out the family diary, and hear the story from the start. Very start.
So we're going to, in just a moment, open the ark to revisit your birthday story, my friend, and the rest of the family saga. In order to do so, we want to celebrate the fact that we're opening the doors of this barrel ark for the first official time this year to let out our hallowed Torah scroll that has been read lovingly by our community for several years, and every time we have a young person who becomes a bar mitzvah, this is the scroll they use. Some of you in the room today, and definitely some of you watching, have had a bar mitzvah this past year. Most of you on Zoom. Some of you are gonna have a bar mitzvah this coming year. Hopefully, not only on Zoom. Yeah, I see you all. So for the honor of opening this ark, if you are in this room and you've had a bar mitzvah with us, no matter what age you are, you're invited up here. And if you're about to have a bar mitzvah this coming year, no matter what age you are. That includes those of you who will be part of our passage program, Adult Bar Mitzvah. Come on to the stage, masked and ready to open the Ark to Mystery. So, Alice, you can come up. You don't have to. Ezra, I know you're having one this year. It's super exciting. And, oh, I see Grace. Ezra and Grace, I think you're it. Okay. Hey, buddy. Shabbat Shalom and Shana Tova, and welcome. Grace, you get to represent as well. And for all those of you who are like, where did Odessa go?
What about just had her very first session?
So Nomi, oh, you had your first session for Bar Mitzvah? That counts.
She asked a lot of
Odessa, you represent the graduates who are almost going to college. And Isaiah, I don't know, you're not too old, buddy. You had a Bar Mitzvah. I know you're like a senior, but like, hello. Anybody else hiding there? Nice try. Bar Mitzvahs, may this Torah scroll that you're taking out be real good to you this year, with some good secrets and good ways to live better. So we're going to invite you to turn around. Grace and Ezra, you're the closest to the scroll. And you're going to invite it to open up this curtain. It's kind of makeshift, so figure it out. And why don't you both take it out very carefully? Grace, do you want to pull it out? As we open up this ark and take out this Torah, everybody, feel like your heart is opening a little bit and getting ready for a little more mystery and a little more wisdom and a lot of good celebrations. And I'm going to invite you guys to do a very short walk up and down the aisle. Naomi will help you. And thank you for helping us to celebrate Torah. Thank you to our Bar Mitzvahs for helping open the ark. We're going to begin our story in just a moment. And I just wanted you to notice that the Torah we're using is the same one, but the Torah cover is one we only use for these days of awe, given to us as a gift by friends of us in Seattle who hopefully are watching. This Torah cover was salvaged from an antique shop in Warsaw, Poland, a few years ago. And according to the story, it spent the days of the Holocaust in hiding and retrieved to be used on this sacred occasion. So may this story help us all deal with all the healings we need. And I invite us all to sit down as we find the place in the Torah.
I prepared a speech because, Bill told me It's, now my mic is on so everybody can hear me. Hi. I prepared a speech because it's my birthday, so if you'll indulge me, I just want to say that right now we are marking moments in the highway of time, moments of memory.
Jean,
Milestones.
Jar.
Big moments like graduations and anniversaries and new jobs and new
Ross.
baby. You know what? It's not your cue yet. It's not until I start talking about Ishmael.
Yeah, I know in my entrances I'm not in character yet. Listen, so I know this is last minute.
Yeah. It's the day of the Maven and it's already started.
I understand that, and I should have said this before, but there's something about the piece that's bothering me.
Dude, we had script meetings. You didn't say a thing.
I know, because I wanted to be respectful to you and this community.
Which is why you're interrupting the Maven. You know, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Let me finish the scene. Let me finish setting up the story, okay? And then we'll talk.
Okay. I'll be back.
Okay, I'm back. So we're talking about milestones. And you know, when you're experiencing a milestone, you can look back and see the milestones of your past getting smaller and smaller in the rear view mirror. But not all milestones get smaller. Some of them loom larger over time. Some of them get bigger, sometimes for momentous, wonderful reasons, and sometimes for momentous, not so wonderful reasons. But, like I said, this year, I am taking one of those milestones that is looming large for a bad reason, and I am releasing it so that we can celebrate the milestones.
So do you want to get more people here who are celebrating milestones up here with you?
I'd love to not celebrate alone.
Okay. So friends, if you're watching us online, you might be really excited about a milestone that you're celebrating this new year or celebrated this past year. There may have been a really big round birthday. There may have been, I don't know, a baby. There may have been a new relationship. You may have moved to a new home. You may have overcome a major obstacle. You maybe have a new job, started college, first grade. Am I missing anything? Anyone here? Anything I did not say that you feel like? Became a grandmother. Thank you, Stephanie. Congratulations. Wow. What else we got? Come on, don't be shy, people. Milestones. Yeah. Say that again. Cancer-free. Amen. Wow. So, friends, because of COVID, what we're going to do is we're going to be inviting you all to have this aliyah of a major milestone. Whether you have a bar mitzvah coming up, or maybe you're getting married, if you're celebrating being cancer-free, or a grandparent, whether you're just starting a new phase in life, or any round celebration, online or here in person, we invite you to rise. And make sure that Isaac here is not alone on your big birthday, and we will share the blessings together. And how about on behalf of all of us, I'm going to make the blessing, because I got a few things to celebrate this year. And I invite us all to say the blessings together. So say it with me. ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו רוח העולם, אשר בחר בנו עם כל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה. אמן.
אמן. ויגדל הילד ויגמל, ויעש אברהם משתה גדול, ביום יגמל את יצחק.
So it's my third birthday party. The first one I remember, I was advanced. And my dad, Abraham, made it amazing. There was ice cream, there was cake, there was a clown.
ותרא שרה את בן הגר המצרית אשר ילדה לאברהם את שחי.
Even Ishmael, whose mom was one of our servants, he was having a good time. He won a stuffed animal at the station where you throw the rings. And I guess my mom saw him taking attention away from me, and I guess she didn't like it.
ותאמר לאברהם גרש האמה הזאת ואת בינה כי לא יירש בן האמה הזאת עם בני עם יצחק.
That's when things got dramatic. My mom asked my dad to kick Ishmael and his mom out of the party and out of the house and out of the family. And there was screaming and yelling, and everybody stopped paying attention to my birthday party and started paying attention to the soap opera that was my family, which is why this was a birthday party I would like to forget for the rest of my life. It was not the kind of story that I want to think about on my birthday. So I'm going to reclaim this milestone as a milestone that I can move forward from and forget about moving forward. You good with that?
No, I'm not okay with that. John, I got to stop you. I got to stop you.
Do you have to? Because we're, in the main.
Look, I have to say this. I have to say this.
Okay, here's the thing, though. You're messing up the scene.
No, you're messing up the scene.
How am I messing up the scene?
Because you're messing up the story.
This is the story that we tell every year on Rosh Hashannah. Darian, I know it by heart. Backwards and forwards, I'm telling the story.
But it can't be the way that we tell it. So there's this moment at the party. You think that this moment is only about Isaac.
No, of course it's not only about Isaac, but I'm playing Isaac. I'm playing the patriarch. That's what we do, right? And it's his birthday, it's his milestone, and he's reclaiming the milestone.
I know that.
Yeah, and because it's okay to reclaim milestone, we're going to keep moving and let everybody get back to this thing.
Okay, but we can talk.
Okay, milestone's going to be complicated, but let's celebrate what's worth celebrating. Grandmothers, cancer-free survivors, new babies, newbie mitzvahs. All of us, hopefully with a bigger perspective in mind, a blessing for being right here and right now. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu ruach haolam asher nata banu torat emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch ata Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Look, I can't keep going until we clear this up. So you really only see this story as being about Isaac.
Isaac thinks it's about Isaac.
And so Isaac's version of the story is that he's the victim here?
Of course.
So just indulge me for a moment. So that first verse that you just translated, Isaac gets a birthday party. Do you think Ishmael got a birthday party when he was a little kid?
Probably not.
Exactly. Or how about in the second verse where maybe all Sarah saw was Ishmael having a good time, smiling, playing, and she just couldn't overcome the feeling that life is a zero-sum game. Like there's only one pie, and if Ishmael gets a slice, then that might get in the way of Isaac's happiness. You feel me?
I've heard that before, but maybe...
Or how about in the third verse where Isaac says all that family drama ruined his day?
He was a little kid, it probably did ruin his day. Also, that's the perspective that we rehearsed.
I mean, did you ever stop to think how it may have ruined Ishmael's life? You see, what you choose to look back on your milestone seems, dare I say, questionable.
Okay, it's not my milestone, it's Isaac's milestone, it's his birthday. Look, every year at Lab Shul, we tell this story, and usually we focus on Sarah and Hagar's perspective because Isaac doesn't do anything in the story. But this year, we decided to switch it up and examine someone's childhood trauma as something that he can be releasing for Shemitah.
Well, I'm releasing my tension about not wanting to do it like this. I mean, look, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to offend you, but I've always thought that that was problematic. I mean, making the one character in the story that doesn't say a peep, doesn't do anything but sit there eating cake, watching, we're making that person the hero of the story? The narrator, the storyteller? I don't know. In my humble opinion, it seems like a lost opportunity.
So what are you saying, Darian? You don't want to do the Maven?
No, I'll do the Maven. I mean, we're doing the Maven, but if we're going to tell this story, then let's at least broaden the way the story is normally told. That's all I'm saying.
Well, okay. What perspective do you? I mean, you seem to only want to talk about Ishmael and not talk about Isaac. Isn't that the same thing?
Well, of course it's not the same thing, John, because of a tiny difference in power.
Look, we're in synagogue on Rosh Hashannah. People didn't come here to talk about complicated things. They came here wanting to feel refreshed and released.
They want to or you want to? I mean, let's ask them. Anybody out there, raise your hand, and you can be honest. If you think that John focusing on Isaac and me focusing on Ishmael is not the same thing, show of hands. See, I got a couple people.
Okay, I get it. Dominant narratives and all of that. But not every story can be about ancillary characters.
Wow, ancillary. John, with all due respect, you're getting awfully close to saying that the only people in the story who matter are the slave masters and not the slaves.
That is not what I meant.
But you see how it could be seen that way, right? I mean, you guys see it, right? So if we're only telling one part of the story, why does it matter whose story it is? Let's ask them. And if you're watching at home, please feel free to write this in the chat. How about over here? Why does it matter whose story it is? Anyone? Over here, yes. Because it's complicated. Great. I love that. It should be everyone's story. What about over here? Why is it important who's telling the story? Why does it matter whose story it is? Because not everybody gets a chance to tell their story. Are you hearing this, John?
I'm hearing it, and it's great, and it's true, and it doesn't change the fact that the Torah isn't about Ishmael. We don't follow Ishmael's children or Ishmael's children's children, but we do with Isaac. The story stays with Abraham's family.
I'm Abraham's family too. But you don't see me as that, Isaac. You don't see me as your brother. You see me as a slave woman's son. But I know you know who my father is. He is your father. I know you see we look alike, and so I don't understand why it's so easy for you to pretend like you don't even see me. Like I'm not even in the story. But I am in the story. Our family diary talks about me too, you know. It leaves your little tent camp and follows me and my mom to the desert, where it was just her and me and God. What's that? Don't believe that we could follow an unseen character? Just look and see.
I think you're not the only one who's feeling unseen. And I think a lot of us this past year, and a lot of us in many ways, feel unseen. For any number of reasons, we might feel like we're not seen for who and how we are. And yet we all are in process of being seen by ourselves, by each other, for exactly how valued we are. So this is the new year of reflection and renewal, of release so that we can repair. So if you're feeling like this past year, for any reason, you felt unseen, your story unvalued, if you feel like you're in the process of stepping up and making sure that you are seen, we want to invite you to this aliyah. There are so many ways in our world we don't see each other. Today, let's start fixing that. Yamdu, I want to invite us to come up. All those of us who feel like this past year, you may have felt unseen. In whatever way. If you feel comfortable to, I invite you to rise here in this room. I invite you to rise wherever you are and take this moment so we can heal it together. Yeah, it takes courage to say, I'm not seen. And it takes courage to hold it inside. So I'm going to chant the second blessing. For those of you at home, for those of us here, may this be the year in which we are seen more and see each other more. And please say the blessing with me. It's on our slides. ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו רוח העולם, אשר בחר בנו עם כל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
אמן. ויכלו המים מן החמת, ותשלך את הילד תחת אחת השיחים.
I was old enough to remember too, you know. The moment we ran out of our home and ran out of water, and my mom just placed me in a shrub in the desert.
ותלך ותשב לה מנגד, הרחק כמטחווי קשת, כי היא אמרה אל ערב במות הילד, ותשב מנגד ותישא את קולה ותבך.
She turned and walked away and never looked back. I was sitting there thirsty, lonely, scared. I called and called, but she sat away from me and cried, and she left me.
וישמע אלוהים את קול הנער, ויקרא מלאך אלוהים אל הגר מן השמיים, ויאמר לה מלאך הגר, אל תראי כי שמע אלוהים אל קול הנער באשר הוא שם.
So I cried, and my cries were heard by God, and an angel came to my mom, told her not to worry, that I've been heard, that I've been seen.
קומי, שאי את הנער, והחזיקי את ידך בו, כי לגוי גדול עשימנו.
That I'd be okay. In fact, that I would thrive.
ויפקח אלוהים את עיניה, ותראה באר מים, ותהלך, ותמלא את החמת מים, ותשק את הנער.
And God helped my mom to see the well of water that had emerged around me. A miracle. Clean water for us to drink. You ever get to drink from a miracle well? No? I didn't think so.
Well, I guess there is.
Well, there it is. We all see it now, right? When you wanted to talk about release, I feel a little better. Like, I know this is uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable too. This isn't fun for me. But out of this discomfort, the lights come on. Maybe for the first time for you, but they're on. And all of us who don't get seen, we get a little more light shining on us. And that, my friends, is progress. So let's have a blessing for that.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו רוח העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Well, if being uncomfortable is making progress, I'm making progress.
True, but you don't get to just say I'm uncomfortable.
But I am. Why can't I say it?
Then what are you uncomfortable about? Name it, release it.
I didn't want to make these people have this conversation today at Rosh Hashannah and have to see the conflict and the power dynamics and the inherited power and inherited prejudices.
Look, you heard me ask the people, and you saw everyone raise their hands. We see the conflict. We see the power dynamics. We see Isaac and Ishmael, the whole story.
Isaac and Ishmael, the whole story. You're not looking hard enough, listening hard enough. I mean, didn't you hear my FaceTime call? Don't you know I've been here this whole time, calling out, waiting to be let in? But I'm here now. And you two are still arguing about this being a story about two boys. Like a story with 70 faces only has two worth looking at. You can't understand how big this is. You only see what's on the surface. That's okay, that's natural. We all start out trained to see ourselves as the lead character in our stories. It's human to see out of our own eyes. But it's time to grow beyond seeing either or and see more, to see broader, to see deeper into the past and farther into the future. to see like mothers do. Biological and adoptive mothers, inherited and chosen mothers, ancestral and agnostic mothers. Mothers see all things as a matter of necessity. Mother Hagar has the power of sight so strong that she cannot bear to see. So she looks away. And Mother Sarah can see into the future all the way to today and see you two would still be fighting. So she did what she did. I remember Hagar and Sarah. I know them. I've held them. Now let me tell you about my motherhood. You are trying to hold two people in their complexity at once. I'm holding on to everything. People and animals and plants and oceans and rocks and bugs and dirt. And here I am about to take my first rest in 7 years, my sabbatical nap, and I can't sleep. You're sitting here pulling weeds, getting at what you can see. But there's more to weeds than what you can see. Weeds are connected to a network, and you have to deal with them at the root. To see down to the roots, you have to see past yourselves and release your egos, to see more, to see broader, to see deeper. Once that happens, the real work can start. You want to do that work? You want to do that work? Release what you're holding. Open up your hearts. Look for the roots. Then maybe you won't miss my call next time.
Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't want to bring this conversation in front of everyone here to talk about the ugly bits that I don't fully understand.
And I'm sorry I was afraid to speak up to the last minute. Guess we both have work to do and more to learn.
I could use another blessing.